Hey guys, today I'm going to make another book review, and today I'm going to review a book called Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper. I read this book and I really liked it, so I really want to share it with you. The main character is an almost 11-year-old girl named Melody Brooks, but she has a disability called cerebral palsy. She can't walk and she can't talk. She can't even move her body. But she is the smartest kid in her school, but no one knows it. She also has photographic memory, and her head is referred to a video camera that is always recording, always. And there's also no delete button, so she remembers everything she sees. The school she goes to, Spalding Elementary School, has a special program for disabled children like her. The classroom she goes to is called H5. Mostly, the classes consist of learning alphabet and listening to baby songs, because most people don't think disabled people are capable of learning. But as you can already guess, Melody is the smartest kid in her school. And as you already know, these classes are not fit for her. But one day, the school opened a special program called inclusion classes, which allows the H5 students, the disabled children, to be included into regular classrooms like music or art. On the first day, she met a student named Rose. She is the same age as her, and she likes the same things like Melody. They became friends right away, and Rose, at first, she pretended to be the best friend Melody could imagine. Melody always looked forward to the inclusion classes with Rose. But one day, the history teacher, Mr. Dimming, announced that they were going to pick students from the class to go out into the Whiz Kids teen competition. This was an annual competition, and the winners would get to go to Washington, D.C., and if they won the competition there, they would get to appear live on TV. Because Melody is undoubtedly the smartest person in her school, she aced the first practice rounds. And with the other team members who were picked, Connor, Claire, Molly, and especially Rose. But Claire is, if you can say, the biggest bully in her school. And at first when she saw Melody, she bullied her because she was disabled. And as you can think, Melody does not like Claire at all. But before I tell you about the competition, there's one thing I have to tell you about Melody's family. When Melody was around 11, her parents became pregnant with another girl. And when she was born, she was perfectly healthy, unlike Melody. The parents decided to name her Penny. And also, around that time, they got a dog named Butterscotch. I assume he's a golden retriever. Penny and the dog really get along. Now back to the competition. They went to a hotel to do the first round of the official competition, and of course they won. And if as I told you, if a school won the first competition, they would get to go to Washington to compete in the finals. So of course Melody's team was given the chance to go to Washington. But a very sad thing happened. As I told you, Melody is disabled, which gives people a distrust about her. So and estimated that her teammates didn't trust her and didn't think she was smart, and they thought that she would ruin their chances of winning. So on the day they were planning to go to Washington, the plane they would go on was canceled because of snowstorms at the destination. So But Melody was not called about this. But the team, Mr. Deming and the other children, barely got a spot on the 9 o'clock plane and went to Washington, leaving Melody behind. But of course, Melody did not know about this and thought she was just going to Washington like normal. But when she found out the news, she was heartbroken. But then even more heartbreaking news followed. The next day, she demanded to go to school because she wanted to see how her friends would react when she asked them why they left her behind. And also, she had a card to give to Catherine. But it was a rainy day, and her mother woke up with a headache. Also, her father's hand was he couldn't use his hand because he had smashed his fist into the wall the day before. So it was her mother's work to get her to school and back. But while she was loading Melody into the car, she forgot Melody's backpack and went to get it from Dad. But then, as Dad was closing the door, Melody saw Penny slip out. But Mom didn't see. As she pulled the car into reverse, Melody tried to warn her. She screamed and tried to warn her mother as best as she could, but she failed. Penny's leg was run over, and she had to go to the hospital immediately. That day was Sunday. But the day after, it was Monday, so Melody had to go to school, whether she wanted to or not. She went to school, and the age 5 students were extremely concerned about Penny because they all heard the news. And she was curious about how the inclusion class students, Rose, Connor, and Claire, would react when she asked them why they left her behind. When the inclusion class came, she rolled into the classroom on her wheelchair and asked one question: "Why did you leave me?" The classroom was silent, and at first Rose spoke up. She said she tried to call Melody before, but everyone had said no, to not call her because, as I said, they thought she would ruin their chances of winning. And if I didn't tell you, the team, when they went to the nationals, won 9th place. They got a very, very small trophy made of plastic, painted like metal, and even the school's name was misspelled on the front. They wanted Melody to have the trophy as kind of like a makeup gift, but Melody just broke the trophy and laughed and rolled out of the classroom. The story ends here. I really want to know what will happen next and whether she will forgive the inclusion class students. But as I said, the story ends here, and I really hope you enjoy this book review. I really hope you'll be able to get this series and read it yourself because it's extremely interesting. Next time I'll be back with a more interesting video. Bye!